Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
Absolute format is the best way to own this store. Time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. What's going on, all you minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. The collected editions in the DC solicitations for September of 2024. So, let's go ahead and get started. And welcome back, everybody. Before going any further, big thank you to our patrons for making videos like this possible. Could not be doing this without you all. And always like to remind people, very small thing you can do, but please don't forget to smash that like button. That goes for a long way for us here on the channel. And the other thing that I always like to stress whenever talking about solicitations is that dates are always changing. So you may see some delays, but the fact that they are in the solicits makes this one step closer to your hand. So remember that. This is not just in the catalog, now it's in the solicits. So let's go ahead and get started with September. Just because this is September, by the way, doesn't mean that you're not going to see dates from October, November, December, January, all the way to like March and April of 2025. So keep that in mind. It's just because they're solicited. All right, let's go ahead and start. Why do I keep pointing? With the Batman First Night. This is a hardcover, part of the Black Label line, for $29.99, coming out on November 5th, 2024. Love that cover there. This is by Dan Jurgens and Mike Perkins and Mike Spicer doing the colors there. So based on that cover, this does take place in 1939, Gotham City. And it is The Legend of the Batman, all written by the phenomenal and legendary Dan Jurgens. Mike Perkins returns to work with Dan Jurgens in these early days of The Dark Knight. So it is a hardcover. And next up is finally we get some answers, but here we go. DC Finest. Wonder Woman Origins and Omens is coming out. That's right, we're going to be looking at some DC's Finest. We've been over this in the catalog, but now we get the DC Finest officially solicited. So this is Wonder Woman Origins and Omens, collecting issues of Wonder Woman 14 through 35, and Outsiders 5 of a Kind, Wonder Woman Grace, and Brave and the Bold number 7. This book has 584 pages, retails for $39.99. It is by Gail Simone, but also Mark Waid, Mark Andreyko, Terry Dodson, Rachel Dodson, Bernard Chang. This is the stuff that will not miss any of the orphaned issues. Much like Marvel's Epic Collection line, this will go through the years. This is from 2007 to 2009. So it is after the relaunch of Wonder Woman during Infinite Crisis. So it was when Alan Heinberg was writing the book. But this collects the beginning of the Gail Simone era, along with 5 of a Kind. I'm so glad that's collected in here. And Brave on the Bold number 7 by Mark Waid. So that's one of them. Let's move on to the next one, because we are talking about DC's Finest, Superman, the First Superhero. So they all will have a subtitle. This is collecting. Finally, we got Action Comics 1 through 25, Superman 1 through 5, and New York World's Fair number 1. This book has 584 pages and retails for $39.99, and it is coming out on November 5th. Jerry Siegel, Joe Shuster, Wayne Boring, and Paul Cassidy are among the creators here. As far as extras, I'm not really sure if they're going to collect much extras, because I know we're used to the Epic line. Not sure on the paper stock of this, but we are finally getting to see some page numbers, which is very important because a lot of people wanted to know the page numbers and the prices of these particular books. So, DC Finest, Batman Year 1 and Year 2. And that is the subtitle. It's called Batman Year 1 and Year 2. So in here you are going to have the work of Frank Miller, Mike W. Barr, Max Allan Collins, and of course David Mazzucchelli and Todd McFarlane, Alan Davis, Dave Cockrum. But this collects Batman 404 to 414, Batman Annual number 11, and Detective Comics 571 to 581. This is the first time year 1 and year 2 have been collected in any format together. I love that. And they're not missing any issues either. They are all in here, including the annual. 592 pages, $39.99. Love this era of DC's finest, so can't wait to see and check out those first 3 volumes. Elseworlds Batman Volume 3 is getting a new printing, the 2024 edition, collecting Brotherhood of the Bat number 1, Batman Night Gallery 1, Batman Scar of the Bat number 1, Batman Mask number 1, and Batman Dark Knight of the Round Table 1 and 2. Again, this is Elseworlds, so they are out of continuity and just showing or showcasing Batman in different times and in, of course, different dimensions. Sometimes the future, sometimes the past, sometimes present day, just a couple of changes. So Doug Mensch, Max Allan Collins, Mike Grell, Bob Layton, Jim Aparo, Brett Blevins, Norm Brayvogel, Tom Grumet. $34.99, 328 pages. Elseworlds Justice League Volume 3, the 2024 edition, is also coming out and is collecting the Conjurers 1 through 3, Flashpoint 1 through 3, Superman and Batman World's Funnest 1, JLA Created Equal 1 and 2, and Green Lantern and 1001 Emerald Knights. I love that story. This has work in here by Femini Ciesa, Evan Dorkin, Tara Laban, and also Chuck Dixon, Eduardo Barreto, Kevin McGuire, Ty Templeton. And the cover there is supplied by Brian Boland. Next up is Superman House of Brainiac. So we're looking at the Joshua Williamson era. So collecting Action Comics 1064 to 1066, Superman 13 through 15, Superman House of Brainiac Special. So it's the crossover between the 2 titles. It is a soft cover for 240 pages, $24.99. So you have Joshua Williamson and Mark Russell, as well as Rafael Sandoval, Edwin Gamon, and Miguel Mendoca. Superman Exile and Other Stories Omnibus, the 2024 edition. I know a lot of you are excited for the return of this particular book. And this here collects the adventures of Superman 445 to 459, Superman 23 through 27, Action Comics 643 to 646, and Action Comics Annual number 2. 912 pages, $125. So you have George Perez, Jerry Ordway, Roger Stern, and Dan Jurgens coming on board to start working on this era. This predates the Triangle years, but it's like right before it starts. We got enough, like I said, we got enough of an omnibus after this and before the Triangle years. But this is the stuff immediately after John Byrne left the Superman titles. So this is coming out on November 26th, and it is the new printing. Very happy for you people that have missed it. Wonder Woman, the Golden Age Omnibus Volume 6. This is collecting Wonder Woman 48 through 71, Sensation Comics 105 to 106. This one is 696 pages, $150, and comes out on November 19th. And you have Robert Kanigher and Harry Peter working on the book. Now, we're also getting a new printing of Green Lantern by Jeff Johns, Book 3. We've known about these. We know that they were reprinting, I think, the first 4, and hopefully they will continue this series in this big, thick format. This is collecting Green Lantern 18 through 25, Green Lantern Corp, 14 through 18, the Sinestro Corp Special, and Telsa Sinestro Corp, the Superman Prime, and Green Lantern Sinestro Corp Secret File. So it is going through the Sinestro Corp War. And that is $39.99, 440 pages. Green Lantern by Jeff Johns Book 4 is also coming out a month later. And that collects Green Lantern 26 through 38 and Final Crisis Rage of the Red Lanterns, which of course will help build the Blackest Night storyline that this is all leading into. And that one is 352 pages, $39.99. Wildcats Compendium is coming out on November 5th. And that is collecting Wildcats 0 through 13, 15 through 20, the Team Wildcats 1 through 2, the Team 1 Stormwatch 1 and 2, Wildcats Special Number 1, Wildcats Trilogy 1 through 3, and Wildcats Sourcebook numbers 1 and 2. So this is by Jim Lee, Brandon Choi, James Robinson, and Chris Claremont working on the book, as well as Jay Lee and Mark Silvestri, Travis Charay. Now, that is interesting. 952 pages. This is a big book, $59.99. Because in the content, I don't see Cyberforce in there, but it is crediting Mark Silvestri on art, so that has to be the crossover with Wildcats, because it was collected, that crossover was collected in the Absolute Edition of Wildcats. The only thing that is missing is Wildcats number 14, and I can kind of see them doing that because that is the one that was drawn by Eric Larson and written by Eric Larson. It's during that switcheroo of Image Comics, so I guess they didn't want to collect it, or maybe he owns the rights to that particular issue. Not sure how it works, but that's the only one that is missing from here. I assume it's going to have the Cyberforce issues. That is a big book, 952 pages. Absolute Green Lantern to Sinestro Corps Ward. So not only can you pick this up in book 3, but you have the option of getting the bigger format if you're a big fan of the artwork, which we'll talk about here in a second. But collecting Green Lantern 21 through 25, Green Lantern Corps 14 through 19, and then the Sinestro Corps Special Number 1. So this is written by Jeff Johns. There's a director's commentary in here by the creative team. So you have Ivan Reyes, Patrick Gleason, Angel Unzueta, Peter Tomasi, Dave Gibbons, Jeff Johns, Ethan Van Sciver on the cover there. And kicking off this Absolute Edition, $125, 448 pages. So yes, this Absolute Edition, you know, it's been collected, the stories in here have been collected in Omnibus format. But this is more for the people that love the art or just love the story so much that they want it in the biggest, most special format available, and that is the Absolute Edition. And it does have a lot of kick-ass artwork in here. This is one of my favorite Green Lantern stories, and I know that Green Lantern by Jeff Johns isn't collected all the way through in Absolute format, because they are missing some of the stories, but you get the big events, like you get the Rebirth, you've got Sinestro Corps War, and then you get the Blackest Night. So this is for the people that just love this run and just want it in the biggest way possible. And next up is the book that people voted for, and they thought, no way they're going to give it to us this early, because we already know we're getting an Absolute Transmetropolitan Volume 1 reprint. Transmetropolitan Volume 3, the Absolute Edition, is coming out at the, let's see, it looks like February of 2025, even though it says 2024 edition. Don't worry, that's not written anywhere on the book itself or on the slipcase. So this collects Transmetropolitan 40 through 60, wrapping up the series. A lot of people have been asking me, Omar, when is this coming out? Please, it's overpriced. And I always tell them, like, I really don't know. I don't think they're going to forget. And I did share that list with DC, so hopefully they saw it and were like, hey, let's just sneak it in there. Or maybe it's just happenstance, which it's comics, right? Could happen. Warren Ellis writing the stories, Derek Robertson wrapping the series up, but he's not alone. But this does tell the ending of this crazy series with Spider Jerusalem. $125, 544 pages, and coming out February 25th of 2025. Scalped Omnibus Volume 1. We knew about this one because of the catalog, but here it is officially with a mature rating on it. R.M. Guerra supplying that cover. And this collects the first 29 issues. You get the behind-the-scenes gallery and a brand new cover right there. And 752 pages, $75, coming out November 12th, 2024. So many people wanted the reprint of the hardcovers, but now you're getting 2 Omnis instead. So everybody wins. Scooby-Doo's Greatest Adventures, the 2024 edition, by Derek Friedolfs and Shirley Fish, Scott Neely, and Scott Geralds working on the book. This one is 424 pages, and it retails for $14.99. And that is Actually, that is the size of a trade paperback. I thought it was going to be a digest size book. JSA Compendium Volume 1 is coming out. So we've got this released in trade paperbacks. We've had this released in thick editions, and now, in omnibus editions, and now we're getting a compendium. So this collects JSA 1 through 25, JSA Secret Files 1 and 2, JSA Annual Number 1, Day of Judgment 1 through 5, Day of Judgment Secret Files Number 1, The Golden Age Secret Files Number 1, Superman 172, Action Comics 780 to 8, or I'm sorry, 780 and 813. Didn't want to get too excited there, or maybe I was too excited. Impulse number 67, Martian Manhunter 18 through 19, Stars and Stripe number 9, Our Man 9, 18 through 19, Secret Files Origins Guide to the DCU number 1, Sins of Youth, Star Woman and the JSA, Junior Society of America number 1, Young Justice number 16, Young Justice Sins of Youth 1 and 2, and Young Justice Sins of Youth Secret Files. This is a big book. This is 1,312 pages. That is big. And on top of that, it is $59.99. So if you've been getting these compendiums, you know how good their build is. And this is completely mapped different than the JSA Omnibus Volume 1. It's got a lot of different things in here. I don't see Our Worlds at War, though. I could have missed that. Just double checking here in the reading. But yeah, that's interesting that this has Day of Judgment and like the Secret Files. Damn. Do I need the... Oh, all right. Now I got to think about it if I need it or not. Batman Volume 2, I Am Suicide. It is a reprint of the trade paperback, collecting Batman 9 through 15, Tom King, Mitch Gerads, Hugo Petras. The cover there's by Mikhail Janin. 168 pages, $16.99. Robin, Son of Batman by Patrick Gleason, the deluxe edition. 352 pages. It is a deluxe hardcover for $49.99, coming out November 5th, and collecting DC Sneak Peek, Robin, Son of Batman number 1, and Robin, Son of Batman 1 through 13. This is after the events of something big that happens in Damian's life, and I don't want to give away what that is, but believe me, it will spoil it in the back of the book, and as soon as you start reading it, what ends up happening to Damian in the pages of Batman Incorporated. So I would at least read that Grant Morrison story before reading this. Just my 2 cents. Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Hard Traveling Heroes Omnibus. I could have sworn this was already solicited, but maybe it's just because I saw it in the catalog. I don't know. Could be deja vu. But this collects Green Lantern 76 through 87, 89 through 123, World's Finest Comics 201, and then stories from Brave and the Bold 100, DC's Special Series number 1, DC Retroactive Green Lantern to 70s number 1, DC Superstars number 17, The Flash 217 to 224, 226 to 228, 230 to 231, 233 and 234, 237 and 238, 240 to 246, the Green Lantern 80th birthday or 80th anniversary 100 page super spectacular number 1, and World's Finest Comics 210 to 210 and 255. So this has about 20 plus issues that have never been collected in anything before. This has 1,376 pages, $125, and of course we are talking about mainly the work of Dennis O'Neil and Neil Adams, but also Mike Grell and Alex Saviuk, just to name a few. Batwoman Elegy 2024 edition, so it is reprinting those Detective Comics issues 854 to 860 of this era by Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams III for 192 pages, $19.99, coming out November 5th. I didn't see this coming, but Batgirl Stephanie Brown Volume 1 is coming out. They've already collected this, so I'm surprised they don't call this the 2024 edition. Coming back to print on October 22nd, 2024, collecting the first 12 issues of Batgirl by Brian Q. Miller and Lee Garbett. If you've not read this stuff is phenomenal. I hope one day we get an omnibus, but I'd rather have a Cassandra Cain omnibus. But this stuff is good. This is during the era of Stephanie Brown playing the role of Batgirl. And even though it wasn't that long of an era, we still loved it, those that have read it. 296 pages, $29.99. The Adventures of Superman John Kent is coming out in a trade paperback format, collecting Adventures of Superman John Kent 1 through 6, and 168 pages, $16.99 by Tom Taylor, Clayton Henry, Derek Robertson, and Norm Rapman, just to name a few of the creators. And last but not least, we didn't know about this one, but it is called the 2024 edition. That is Birds of Prey, Murder and Mystery, the 2024 edition by Gail Simone and Ed Benes, Cliff Richards, and $24.99, 296 pages, coming back to print in October 22nd, 2024, collecting Birds of Prey 56 through 67. So a couple of surprises in there, some we knew about, and some we finally got confirmation on the page count and the price, and of course what's collected in there. Now, if you're interested in pre-ordering any of these books or purchasing them when they come out, check out our sponsors. BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels. They have a physical storefront in Montreal, Quebec, and their website, bdcosmos.com, offers 25% off your order of over $99 or more, and free shipping everywhere in Canada for every order of $200 or more.
Their shipping care is exceptional. Your books will stay cozy through the rough Canadian weather and arrive to you in near mint condition.
After checkout, let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way, and you'll be added to the monthly $25 gift card raffle. Entries are valid for new and returning customers.
Don't be afraid to call or email them. Ask them questions. Their staff is always happy to help guide you towards the right purchase. Visit their website, bdcosmos.com, for more. BD Cosmos, with rewards and raffles taking care of customers in Canada. Eh?
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget, the CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the DC Collected Edition solicitations for September of 2024. Let me know in the comments down below what the book that surprised you the most was, what you're most excited for, and what you're hoping to see the next time. But that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.